Welcome back, 1031. You know, I was just telling Tia before she left the studio, the one biggest regret I have of the summer, Lynn Venhaus, is the fact that I don't know, yours truly happened to not see Naked Gun in the movie theater.
Yes, because it was so fun to see it with a crowd, to just laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh. It was just really fun. But did you get to see it finally?
I didn't.
I mean, or you got it on your list?
It's on my list, and I'm going to see it. It bummed me out because I knew Liam Neeson would just be perfect for this role. I just, after the Million Ways to Die in the West with Seth MacFarlane, I'm like, this is it. This is it for him.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you've ever seen him in a talk show interview, he's really charming and funny. And so I'm glad because, you know, we see enough of Leeson, enough of Liam, having a special set of skills.
Well, and I got to ask you real quick, is this thing with Pamela Anderson, was that a work or is that a real life budding relationship?
That is a real life budding relationship. And I, for one, am very happy for them because Liam, why am I screwing up his name today? Liam, as you know, lost the love of his life, Natasha Richardson, from a fall during a ski trip. And that was very traumatic. And so he spent the rest of this was like in late 90s, I want to say. Anyway, he devoted his life to raising their two boys. And now the boys are grown, and now he can have a romance. That's really cool. Yeah. And so I think that's really cool. And then, of course, she's in a really good place. So they both have, at the premiere, they both had each of their two sons. She has two by Tommy Lee and Liam. So they were all with their kids. And I think that's just charming. And if you've seen The Last Showgirl, which is on streaming, I'm not sure which streaming service, but Google it and you'll find out. The Last Showgirl, she really shows what a good actress she is, because you know Baywatch, I mean everybody loved Baywatch, but for different reasons.
Well, and now Lynn, with that being said, let's review, if you would, the summer movies that came out. Were there some good ones this summer? There were a few, and I would say top of my list is Superman. Did you get to see that in the big theater? You know, you have to see. Here's the thing, Lynn. It's been so busy for me because we got engaged and then getting everything kind of together and going. I've been out of the loop, so that's why I really wanted you on, because I'm kind of under a rock. Yeah, well, I understand that. Life gets really busy, and congratulations. Your bride is lovely. Your future bride. You guys look so happy. So I'm happy for you. Thank you. Superman is directed by James Gunn from St. Louis, and I love this kinder Superman. You know, it's gotten a lot of knocks as, the woke Superman, but I don't see it. What's wrong with kindness? Right. You know, what's wrong? So this David Corenswet, and I'm going out on a limb here, but I think he's the best Superman since Christopher Reeve, and nobody can top Christopher Reeve. Wow, that's actually pretty special. Yeah. And I've gone back this summer and watched Superman Returns and Man of Steel, and I watched Superman 2, and this one is so good. I don't really care about what I call flying chunks of concrete. I could care less about all the visual razzle dazzle and everything. I like the heart of the story, and it's a good one. There's a very wonderfully emotional scene with his parents, and they've aged Martha and Jonathan Kent. They've aged them, and they live on a farm in Kansas, and he takes Lois, and Lois is played by the wonderful Rachel Brosnahan, who was Mrs. Maisel. Oh, wow. Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and she's great as Lois. And I love the whole premise that this is a different world. Lex Luthor is this tech billionaire, and he's ruthless, and he's got to stop. But the world is used to Superman and what they call meta-humans. They are used to superheroes in the world. But the best addition is the dog, Crypto. If you're a dog person, you are going to love this dog. he is so hilarious because he's not trained very well and he acts up.
Do you remember the DC Super Pets movie that came out a couple of years ago? Every time I hear Crypto, I just think that was a great movie too.
That was, you know, it's just, but I'm glad that DC is back because Superman and Batman have always been my favorite superheroes. And so I'm glad to see them kind of, you know, take it on to a next generation.
This is so cool. Now, did they do was it a live action animal that was playing Crypto, or how did they?
They CGI'd him.
Oh, That's really interesting.
Because he does have superpowers.
Okay, gotcha. I love it. That's so cool.
Yeah, and so it's really, it's just, I just thought it was a lot of fun. It was just a perfect summer blockbuster. And speaking of another perfect summer blockbuster, F1, Formula One, the movie, it is back in IMAX right now, started Friday. That is a big screen movie with all the Formula One racing and Brad Pitt, magnetic as usual. And people are always surprised when I tell them that he's a Missouri native.
Is he really?
What?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
He's from Springfield, Missouri. And so he grew up there. And he didn't graduate from Mizzou, but he headed to Hollywood with like $300 in his pocket. He was like 6 hours short of an advertising degree, and he took up. But fun fact, he was on the Men of Mizzou calendar.
That's awesome, actually. Now, that would be a keepsake if someone still has one of those.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think so. And so I just think that's fun when people, Brad Pitt's from Missouri? Well, yes. And he's from basically the Ozarks of Missouri. So, yeah. So anyway.
Can I ask you real quick, when on this movie, is there a lot of story with the F1 movie, or is it a lot more of the action kind of, you're seeing a lot of fast moving cuts and more of that kind of dynamic?
Yeah, it's the Need for Speed.
Gotcha.
Sure.
That's what I was going to ask.
It's very high paced, and the story is really nothing. It's just like, you know, fast cars, drama. There's drama on the racetrack. There's the young hotshot driver, and then there's the old grizzled veteran trying to prove something in Brad Pitt.
It almost sounds like Talladega Nights.
I know.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. But I'm
little
gonna
baby. He loves little baby Jesus.
I gotta check this out because I saw the previews for it and I thought that's a movie because I love the fast paced dynamic. Now, is it one where if you aren't into F1 or into that type of sport, you can still watch?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I think they make it pretty easy to understand. Now, if you watch it, you're going to have much more interest in it.
Gotcha. Okay. Now that's interesting. Now, what would you grade it overall?
I think I gave it a B.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I gave Superman an A, and I loved A Naked Gun. It just was fun. And sometimes we need that. You need to be silly, especially in this world. I think we need to be a little sillier. Sometimes.
I just had a conversation about that. I mean, I'm not saying you need to go back to the old style like comedy and humor with some of the movies, but like the Naked Gun and airplane movies would be perfect for right now. Where we, like you said, you're in a movie theater and everyone's laughing together, forgetting about what just happened on the news or what happened at home, and that's what a movie's for.
Right. Well, one of the big things I'm looking forward to in the fall is the Spinal Tap sequel.
I am too. Okay.
Yeah. Because that's just going to be so fun because they are, 1984, this is Spinal Tap, one of my favorite comedies of all time. Derek Smalls, Nigel Tufnell, and Michael St. Hubbins. And you can quote that movie and everybody he has, the sound up to 11.
Yep.
And so this is what's so funny. Everybody's back for this one, and it comes out September 12th.
Wow.
Everybody is back. So Michael McKean, Christopher Guest, Harry Shearer, and Rob Reiner, who directed again. He plays the mockumentary director, Marty DeBurgi. And then Paul Schaefer and Fran Drescher are a return. And then there's going to be some cameos from music guys. supposedly Paul McCartney, and I know Elton John for sure.
Wow.
And Lars Ulrich of Metallica.
I love that.
I know. So it just looks funny because they get together, they bring the band back together after 15 years for a final concert.
This is cool.
I know. And so if you don't need to see the first one, just know it's just but if you did see it, I think everybody is waiting for it.
I am too. Well, and getting back, and what do you know what the release date is on the Spinal Tap sequel on top of your head?
September 12th.
Really cool. And is that going to be available on streaming and in the theaters, or just theaters?
Just theaters right now. The streaming comes not too far after they.
Yeah.
For instance, Superman on Friday. Superman was released video on demand, but it's the high cost one. It's the 1991 premium rental, so it'll go down, and then it's going to be on DVD September 23rd. But I am sure, because it's Warner Brothers, that HBO Max will have it.
Oh, 100%.
So yeah.
Speaking of, I don't know if you had a chance. Have you seen the show where they're back in the 1890s and trying to live off the settlement on HBO yet? If you get a chance, check that. It's an interesting one where they have 3 families and they have to go back and live like the pioneers and try to make it through. And it's really cool. I just brought up HBO Max, and I'm like, that's one that I think Lynn would be interested in.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what's it called?
I don't know. I just watch it. I'll send you whenever I go back home and I look up when I'm on HBO. I'll send you the name of it. But it was perfect, and it's a great show. But also, you know what surprised me? The fastest movie I've ever watched happened this summer. That was Happy Gilmore 2. I feel like I closed my eyes and I opened them, and we're at the end of the movie.
Yep. And speaking of Adam Sandler, you're going to love this concept. He's in a movie with George Clooney called Jay Kelly. Now, it's being produced by Netflix, so it's going to open in theaters for like a week, but then it'll be on Netflix. And let me get that date for you. That is, it's called Jay Kelly, his name, and it is November 14th. And it's Clooney as a movie star. That's a big stretch. And he's in Europe, and his assistant is Adam Sandler.
That's going to be fun. Lynn, what did you think about Happy Gilmore 2? Were you a fan of it? Because it was one of those for me where it hit all the points. Like, I thought, okay, this was really fun, but it wasn't that good of a story, I don't think, for the movie. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong with it. Maybe I kind of judged it too hard, but it just felt like, okay, we're getting the best of Happy Gilmore in this new movie in an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah, I think Adam Sandler knows his wheelhouse.
Yeah.
And he knows his fans. And the fact that they brought everybody back, because Christopher McDonald's, Scooter?
Yep.
Yeah. And, it's everybody that was in the first one. That's always a good sign when they get everybody back together. And they looked like they were just having fun.
Yeah.
I don't think there was much script that they had to follow. And the boys are grown is really funny. My children were of an age where they had all the VHSs of Adam Sandler movies on like all the time. So Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison, The Waterboy, et cetera, were always on. And so they're just in my head. I don't think I had to go to a theater and watch them, But I am always surprised at how good Adam Sandler is as a dramatic actor. And
you're right.
There's a really good movie called Hustle.
Yeah, that was
on
great.
Netflix. And he's so good as this basketball scout. Yeah. And I just think he's fascinating. And then to me, if you watch the 50th anniversary of SNL, when he did the Chris Farley tribute, he still gets choked up, and it just goes right through you, know?
He's actually going to be in St. Louis playing in October.
Yes, he is. That is correct.
Do you want I got to tell you this fun story real quick before we talk about more movies. We were trying to find, just bigger name interviews to do, and we're going to have Buzz from A Christmas Story on in a couple, which is some fun ones, why not? And I said, why not reach out to a ton of people? So I got 2 responses, one from Joe Pesci's manager and one from Adam Sandler's person that he was on tour and I wanted to bring him in, but 2 of the nicest teams ever. And it was just kind of nice that everything that they say about Adam Sandler kind of is the same with his team too.
Yeah.
It's kind of
neat. He's big Family Guy.
Yeah.
And if you watch when he got the comedy award, what was that? The Mark Twain.
Oh, yeah.
Award?
He was really grateful for, and I love that their family's always in the movies now, and his daughters are kind of trying out with them, and it's really cool to see. And Lynn, with that being said, what are some of the other movies you had a chance to catch up with this summer, and what were your thoughts on them?
Well, I don't think, they're going for the high concept always in the summer. And we've got the Jurassic Park reboot, the Jurassic World Rebirth. And I didn't mind it because the last one, the Dominion one, was so bad because Jeff Goldblum, Sam Neill, and Laura Dern were back. And it just went off the court. It was like dinosaurs living in your backyard.
Yeah, come on.
Oh, that's a good idea. And then they got really far with the tech guy and locusts and all these plagues, and it was just crazy. But this one kind of goes back because, first of all, my thing about all the sequels and the reboots, why would you ever go back?
Right. Right. Thank you. That's why I can't get a hold of these either. I'm like, why are we dealing with the dinosaurs still? Like, if we're actually in the world, what says I'm going to go back to that tomorrow?
Yeah, why would you do this? But it is kind of plausible. And I do like Jonathan Bailey, who's going to have another big, huge hit again when The Wicked Part 2 comes out for good, November 21st.
Wow.
So but Jonathan Bailey, his star is rising. And so he and Scarlett Johansson are back they got to get dinosaur DNA so Big Pharma can make a heart disease pill that's going to be groundbreaking. So Big Pharma's the villain. Remember, like for a while we had Russian mafia as the villain, and then the tech billionaires as the villains. The tech billionaires are really a good villain these days, and then we have Big Pharma as the villain.
Well, and honestly, it's just kind of fascinating to see how the movies kind of change the perspective on the protagonist and the antagonist and how it connects back in. And I'm going to be fascinated about that. Really, that's really interesting.
Well, it's a cautionary tale about don't fool Mother Nature.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing, But the first Jurassic Park, I mean, nothing can top
right. And see, that's where I'm at with the reboots because, or the sequels and everything, because it's like, you can't go from that one. And then I got dinosaurs walking around at Starbucks. You know what I'm saying? Or backyards. I really thought the first one, even the second one was pretty cool, but I love the first one. You can't beat it.
Oh, no. And it's still terrifying. It's still scary, and to see that. Well, Jaws turned 50, speaking of Spielberg. Yeah. So there's a lot of that. And I watched it again. And that is terrifying. And Spielberg's editing was so great because they were having trouble with the mechanical shark. So you don't see the shark very often, but that music, there's a really good documentary on Disney Plus, National Geographic, Jaws at 50, with really good interviews about the making of that. And just to see that again, it still is so tense.
Yeah. Well, it's like you said, I watched the documentary and it makes you respect Spielberg as a director even more because how you still create a scary creature when you have a half broke down robot that doesn't move and you have to change your whole movie shoot. Basically, it's pretty impressive to see that turnaround.
Oh yeah. And then John Williams' score. I mean, that's in the top 10 of all time. And there's a documentary on John Williams that's on Disney Plus, the music of John Williams, and it is fantastic. And when you get to the Star Wars theme, it is the most perfect moment because you're watching this movie and you're like, when are they going to get to Star Wars? And then the first time you see it,
He is conducting the London Symphony, and he raises the baton in the recording room, and you hear that big booming symphonic score, and it just gives you chills.
It's awesome
because it's so good. So if you are a fan of movie music, I would say that's good. Summer's kind of forgettable.
Yeah.
Like, Freakier Friday was fun. All these movies are basically fun.
That's what I was going to ask you. Yeah. Now with Freakier Friday, was that one that you would recommend? Do you need to watch the first one to kind of know, or do you get the gist of it pretty quick?
No, because I didn't have girls, so I didn't really watch, the first one. So I caught on right away.
That's cool. Well, and see, I think, because I was looking at some of the movies that were coming out, and the one I really wanted to see besides Naked Gun was Alto Nights, and I'm finally going to get a chance, I think, this weekend to watch, because it's a De Niro movie, and I know it came out in the wintertime, or spring, and I thought, well, that'll be a good piece to kind of get into, but all the other ones were kind of just ones that looked really interesting when I had the time, not really ones that drew me to the box office. How were the numbers this summer? Were they hanging in there?
I think the big ones, especially because, we're driven kind of by the first weekend of box office.
Yeah.
Which I always think is weird because, that's what they want to do. But we're still not seeing the production that we had a couple of years ago because of the pandemic and because of the strikes.
I remember you saying that actually on Ray's show years ago, because we had that one summer where it just felt like it was like Top Gun was out and all these huge, maybe it was the summer before Top Gun, but it was one summer was just blockbuster was huge productions. And then you even warned and said, hey, with these strikes, and then you had the pandemic and everything else, it's going to take some time to get back into a regular schedule.
Right, because even Tom Cruise's Mission Impossible sequel, which I really liked, that kind of bombed.
Did it?
Because it cost so much money to make, but the stunts in that are unbelievable.
That guy's just something.
Next level. He just pushes himself. But I liked it because it wrapped up all the characters, because you get, Ving Rhames and Simon Pegg and that whole secret crew. Mm-hmm. And that's what I always look for, the emotion, because to me, a movie you have to invest emotionally.
Yeah, I agree.
And, and if they're awful people, why are you watching it?
Right. I agree.
And I know now it's really popular to have all these villains that you just can't stand, especially TV, like Succession. Mm-hmm. Because the first couple of times you watch it, you're like, oh, these people are so awful. But then you get into that groove of how awful they are and how they turn on each other, and it's fascinating. But like the John Hamm's show on Apple, Your Friends and Neighbors, mm-hmm. He's very good in it, but all these people are terrible.
Yeah, right. Well, and see, I've noticed that where there's a lot of, they try to find the anti-hero in a lot of these, like who pick the lesser of the evils that are on your screen right now. Yeah,
you're not as bad as the other ones.
Can I ask you about an Apple show real quick? The morning show, sure. Is that still going on?
It's coming out in September. I think mid-September.
That's a great show.
4. Yeah, it is. And Billy Crudup's really good. And then, of course, Reese Witherspoon and Jennifer Aniston. I forget. Oh, John Hamm's going to be in it again. If you are a TV watcher, just real quick, and I'm not sure when it's premiering, but Shrinking, I love that with Harrison Ford mm-hmm. and Jason Segel. Jeff Daniels is coming on as Jason Segel's dad.
That's cool.
Yeah. And Candace Bergen is coming on too. I'm not sure what she's playing, but that'll be great. And I like when you hear these, that this is coming. Ted Lasso mm-hmm. is coming out probably middle of next year with season 4. People clamored for it, and it's shot in Kansas City, quite a bit of it, because, Jason Sudeikis, he's from Kansas City, and Ted Lasso's from Kansas City, and he went back home so he could have more time with his son. Okay. So the crew shows up in Kansas City to convince him to come back.
That's going to be really cool. Hey, how did Wednesday do on their new season on Netflix?
Huge,
Really?
huge, even bigger than the first one.
No kidding.
Yeah,
Wow.
and Steve Buscemi's in it.
He's great.
Yeah, I really like him. So, there's a lot in streaming, and some of these movies will be coming up. Like if Netflix or Amazon produced it, that will be coming. Like real quick before we, there's the Leonardo DiCaprio movie. So, fall, we pull out the big guns, we pull out the big stars, the prestige, it's the Oscar bait kind of thing, the awards, and so we have one battle after another. It's Leonardo DiCaprio, Benicio del Toro, and a cast of tons of people. They play, it's from a Thomas Pynchon novel called Vineland, and it's aging radicals. They confront the failure of the system, whatever that means.
Wow.
And then you being and that's September 26th, you being a wrestling aficionado, the Smashing Machine comes out October 3rd. It's The Rock as playing a real life character, the UFC fighter Mark Kerr.
Yeah.
And he's supposed to be getting Oscar talk.
Wow.
He is the highest paid actor in Hollywood, The Rock. I mean, Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
We call him Dwayne Johnson. And Emily Blunt, he reteams with her, and they were in Jungle Cruise together. So that's really interesting. Julia Roberts is back in a movie called After the Hunt, and it's very mysterious. She plays a college professor. Her favorite student is Ayo Edeburi from The Beast. Mm-hmm. The Bear.
Oh, The Bear. Yep.
Yeah, The Bear. I love that show so much, and you would think I would. And she's her student, and her close friend Andrew Garfield is accused of sexual assault.
Oh,
and it comes out October 10th. So that's very dramatic, and it'll look like craziness. And then apparently one of the best performances of the fall is Rose Byrne. And it's a movie called If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. And she plays a therapist, and it's like the worst week of her entire life. But I read a preview, and it said, it's like, I need help, but don't help me.
Gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, that's interesting. And then there's one called Roofman with Channing Tatum, and it's a crime comedy because people love the crime comedies now.
Yeah, they do.
And it's a true story about a serial robber who mostly burglarized McDonald's.
Wow.
He would enter from the roof. That's, I guess, why they call it Roofman. And then it's also got Kirsten Dunst and Peter Dinklage. And then this to me sounds hilarious. Good Fortune. Seth Rogen plays a rich guy, and Keanu Reeves plays a guardian angel.
Oh, wow. That's going to be really cool.
Talk about a high concept, and then I'm really looking, speaking of The Bear, Jeremy Allen White as Bruce Springsteen.
That's going to be awesome.
I cannot wait, because did you like the Bob Dylan movie, A Complete Unknown?
Oh, yeah. I thought that was great.
Oh, so good. And if he can be, if this movie is anything like that, but it is a great cast. It comes out October 24th, and I cannot wait. And then what else is there? Frankenstein, a reboot of Frankenstein. Now get this cast. It's directed by Guillermo del Toro, and it stars Oscar Isaac as Dr. Frankenstein, and then Jacob Elordi. He's the hot young actor that's like brooding. He's in Euphoria. He was in a bunch of really high profile movies, and that should be interesting. And then Glenn Powell. Everybody loves Glenn Powell from Top Gun, and what else he was in like everything, wasn't he? For a while?
Oh, he was in every movie. Yeah.
Like
Pedro Pascal is now. It's called The Running Man, and it's a remake of that Stephen King movie about the future where he's on a game show and it's fatalistic, like he has to survive. Everybody's trying to kill him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that is November 7th. And then this is a combo. Jennifer Lawrence is back because, she does very few films now. And she's married to Robert Pattinson, and they have a baby. And she is dealing with horrible postpartum depression.
Oh.
That does not sound like it's going to be light and fun at all. But, that's high prestige. So basically, we've got, I think, the two big ones. Besides Wicked, Knives Out is coming out again. Number 3, December 12th. It's called Wake Up Dead Man. A Knives Out mystery. And it's got Glenn Close, Josh Brolin, Kerry Washington, Mila Kunis, Jeremy Renner, Andrew Scott. So it's got an all-star cast, and I love those Knives Out ones.
Oh, yeah.
They're fun.
They are.
Then probably the big prestige, there's one called Nuremberg, where Rami Malek plays a psychiatrist that is there to investigate Nazis, and Michael Shannon and Russell Crowe are in it. So that sounds really interesting. And then another big one, I think, is called Hamnet, where it deals with, it's from the wife's point of view, Agnes Shakespeare, and she's played by Jessie Buckley, who's a really great actress. And it's based on William Shakespeare, who's played by Paul Mescal. He's another hot young actor, Irish, really talented. He plays William Shakespeare, and she plays his wife, and they deal with the death of their son, Hamnet.
Oh, wow.
And that's what it's called. But I think he was like 11 when he died. So, and then Timothée Chalamet is coming back in one called Marty Supreme. And get this, talk about high concept. He plays a table tennis player.
There you go. I haven't seen very many table tennis playing movies before.
No, not since Forrest Gump.
That's
right.
That's
right. And then Wicked for Good. If you saw the first one, this is the second act of the musical. I'm surprised at how many people haven't seen the musical, so they don't know what's happening. So I cannot give any spoilers away. But this, when the first one ended in November and people were like, "That's it," I'm like, "Wait for Act 2."
Right. Well, and now when does that come out?
November 21st, and that'll just be huge. And it's Ariana Grande, and it's Cynthia Erivo, Jonathan Bailey, and Jeff Goldblum takes on a more sinister Wizard of Oz. And then we have Avatar. I don't know where you stand on the Avatar, but I thought the last one was like watching paint dry.
Yeah.
Oh, The Way of Water.
Oh, yeah, no.
And so that comes out December 19th. It's called Fire and Ash. And if it's 3.5 hours like the last one, please help us.
Oh, yeah. No, like I honestly, Lynn, that was one movie that I had to turn off. I couldn't even finish it. I thought I'll just Cliff Notes this one and call it a day.
And you just didn't care.
No.
And then it went from Way of Water, and then we're dealing with sharks.
Yeah, it didn't make sense. I'm just not really like it. The first one I thought was groundbreaking for what it did.
Oh, yeah.
But
beautiful.
Yeah, now it's
beautiful.
Let's just retire that one and call it a day.
I know. So they're at war with other species, other tribes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Enough of that. Yeah,
I just would like to, you just want good stories,
right?
Don't you?
Yeah.
That's what you want. I don't care about all the flying chunks of concrete. I don't care. I want to see a good story with good performances, and I like to be surprised.
Exactly.
I like to be pleasantly surprised because
well, who doesn't like to, like go in, like, what is this about? 2 movies real quick that are on streaming that I think you will love. The Penguin Lessons. It's on Netflix. It is based on a true story, and it is charming and so sweet. It is the cynical teacher that goes to South America to teach. He's played by Steve Coogan, and if you follow this guy's career, he's always playing the cynical guy. And he goes to teach at a all-boys boarding school while they are having a coup.
Wow.
And so it's a lot of political drama, and he's smack dab in the middle, and he rescues a penguin from the beach that was caught in an oil slick, and the penguin imprints on him and won't let him alone and keeps following him. So he takes it back to his room at the boarding school and hides it in the bathtub.
I actually think that'll be cute. That'll be a good movie.
Yeah, and the penguin, finally, when the school finds out, he incorporates the penguin in lessons with the boys. And it's like the penguin becomes like this human philosopher. Like all these people pour their hearts out to this penguin, and the penguin's just flapping and, just walking around. And so the boys become really attached to it. And it just becomes, so the Penguin Lessons, the guy that this really happened to wrote a memoir.
Wow. That's going to be a fun movie.
Yeah. So it's currently on Netflix. And if you are like me, you like music and you like good acting and you like very quirky UK comedies, The Ballad of Wallace Island, currently on Peacock. It is Carey Mulligan, and it is this guy won the lottery, and he purchased an island, a remote island, and he lives there, and his wife died, and he gets basically this couple back together that were musicians, but they were romantically linked, but they broke up, and he wants them to give him a concert. So they come to this island thinking that they're going to perform for more than him.
I love it. And what was that called?
I know, and it's called The Ballad of Wallace Island.
Okay.
And it is on Peacock, and it's just really quirky and really fun. And I liked what it said about human nature and how people change, like your vision of getting back together with these people is not really what's in your imagination is different than reality.
Absolutely. And Lynn, we have about a minute left, and really, is there anything else to touch on?
I think we're about ready to go into a super busy fall. So stay tuned, and my team at PopLife STL will be bringing you all the action that we can, because it's going to be heating up. I'm not sure what people are looking for. I don't know what you're looking for, but I think people want to be entertained, number one. They want to laugh, or they want to be moved.
Right, Lynn. And we'll link everything to PopLife STL because we're running out of time. Lynn, thank you so much for everything.
Well, thank you. Always fun, and good luck with your planning the wedding.
Thank you. We're out of time today. We'll see you back here on Wednesday live at 9. Until then, try your best to stay out of jail.